Hello dear readers and subscribers. For many years, Instagram has been the go-to social media platform of the art world, and it actually is still up to this very day. However, over the years, Instagram has changed a lot. Today it is marked by short-form vertical video content with trending audios and reels, and especially the engagement and reach of content creation that is focused on the arts, most often in the form of photographs, pictures of the actual artworks, has dropped in reach tremendously, drastically actually. So is Instagram still the best social media platform for artists today? And if so, how can we get the most out of this medium? What is the best way to use it? What are the main strategies to grow an audience that not only goes beyond gaining many followers, likes and views, that also results in actual results in the form of exhibitions at galleries, sales from collectors, and using it as a catalyst for your art career. Therefore, I am pleased to welcome you for this video in which we'll analyze the current state of Instagram and also 8 ways how you can use it to your advantage. Let's get started. Before we continue any further, my apologies, but Perrier is a little bit camera shy today, so she's facing backwards to the camera. No matter what people say about Instagram today, that it has died a silent death and that it's no use for artists, or that we have to adapt and go along with all the trending TikTok audios and reels. If we go to an art fair, the reality is that if we talk with a collector or a gallery director about another artist, that 9 out of 10 times, if they want to look them up, they will do it via Instagram and not necessarily with Google. This is a very telling anecdote because we got so used to using Instagram in the art world that we still do it up to this day. However, with the changes of Instagram, we also need to change our approach. Across the web, with blogs, some gurus here on YouTube that advise you to post X amount of times or use Y amount of hashtags, they all are focused very much on growing the amount of followers. But do those followers also result in actual art career success? The truth is, with the current state of Instagram, with all the latest changes in which it's promoting video content due to the arrival of TikTok, for instance, and we also see this with other platforms, for instance, YouTube is also featuring a lot of YouTube shorts these days. The Instagram Reels are being pushed very much by the platform. So it is often advised to jump on with the trends to grow your audience as well. Furthermore, the algorithm and the way your feed works has changed as well. We used to see everything first chronologically even from the people who we follow, but today we no longer see all the posts of the people we follow. We get suggested reels in our feed alongside other sponsored content. So this results in a drastic drop of engagement of your post, something we have experienced firsthand with our Instagram account of Contemporary Art Issue, which has over 60,000 followers, but still when we publish a post that our audience used to adore, nobody of our audience gets to see it, or at least a very small percentage. The audience is being soaked up by these suggested Instagram Reels, and the very popular artist variations are, for instance, artists slowly turning around, revealing their canvas, abstract painters spectacularly splashing their paint onto the canvas, or studio vlogging, showing works in progress, time lapses, or posing on camera with various audio trends. Please note how these reels are successful when you focus on the trends, when you focus on the content creation, and also when you focus on the artist as a social media figure, as an influencer. However, sadly, the art is often just a couple of seconds visible and rather small in the frame. So it seems to be like this trend is favoring the content creation and not necessarily focusing on the art itself. By doing so, the online behavior of artists is being kind of forced to be more and more like influencers and less like artists. One also needs to be aware of that this on-camera behavior that these suggested reels adore is actually rather frowned upon in the art world. So it seems like we're standing at a crossroads. Do we adapt and go for the Instagram Reels but lose our chances in the high-end art world? Or do we go all in on the influencer model and go along with all the Reels and other trends with vertical video content? This brings us, of course, back to our discussion that we have talked about very thoroughly on the different career paths for artists. Do you follow the traditional art world, the gallery circuit and critical recognition for your art? Or do you go for the so-called influencer model, in which you grow an audience, sell your work directly, etc., etc.? Do we adapt to what Instagram expects us to do, or do we adapt to what the art world expects us to do? This is a decision you have to make for yourself, of course. You have to do whatever feels natural or most fun to you. However, here at CAI we have always formulated advice in order to pursue success in the highest realms of the art world. So before making this decision, make sure to watch that other video next, or at least take the following points into consideration. With the influencer model, especially with Instagram, there is not always a clear monetization strategy, as followers do not always result in clients. Most artists follow other artists, hence a very low conversion rate. Short-term successes are a lot more likely via the career of self-representation and the influencer model than it is the case with the pursuit of gallery success in the high-end art world. However, please note that you'll reach a ceiling because you're targeting a different audience. Most often, via self-representation and social media, you sell your art to people who are looking for something nice to decorate their home, and they are willing to pay a decorative value for it. However, this kind of tops out below $5,000. Whereas in the art world, immediately you get the right price, and it is possible to see your prices rise to astronomical heights. And to conclude, one must also ask questions about the integrity as you as an artist, but also about the longevity of your career if you follow a career via social media, because it changes all the time. Trends and technology do not age well. And as a result, the heyday of your success that you've worked so hard for can end prematurely, as we have seen with numerous Facebook groups and accounts a couple of years ago, with a lot of Instagram accounts today, and with a lot of growing Instagram accounts with these vertical video content that in a few years will also become obsolete. So be aware of these things before making a decision. That being said, it is time to discuss 8 Instagram strategies that are industry approved that will result in growing your audience online with your Instagram account, and that will also actually convert into art world results, exhibitions, sales, and actually improving your overall profile, which can be accumulated over time. To do so, first we must change the way we think. Most often with advice for Instagram strategies, we're always focusing on the follower count. However, the follower count can be tremendously irrelevant. For instance, many established artists have very few followers in comparison to some very popular viral social media accounts, Instagram artists. However, those accounts are doing a lot less in terms of exhibitions, collectors, sales, income, etc. So instead of pursuing followers for the sake of followers, Instagram's strategies is all about providing the right context and appearance so that you get seen in the right way by the right people. And this is something we can control. First, we need to set up a professional account and bio. So let's start at the top of our account, the little description of who we are and what we do. A professional bio may consist of the following information: your artistic discipline, for instance a painter or multidisciplinary artist or sculptor, your nationality, where you are based, and by whom you are represented, tagging your art galleries in your bio. This will also improve the long-term collaboration you have with those galleries, as you're openly supporting them and openly referring clients to your gallery. It also makes you look a lot more professional, because it shows there are actually galleries representing you and interested in you. So it is also good for your credibility. You could also include any ongoing or upcoming exhibitions in your bio. However, it is very important to keep it as concise as possible. Don't use emojis or start to talk about your own backstory, your own story as a person, or your mission with your art. Remain formal, concise, and a little bit elusive, as if you're not trying. Make sure to include a link to your artist website or to the artist page of your gallery's website, or you could also link to an ongoing exhibition or a recent interview here. You can use a Linktree, however the use of Linktrees is more associated with the influencer model, so I would advise you to simply refer to your website. Next, posting industry approved content. It is a very common and of course important question what to post, because your Instagram feed is actually also kind of a more extensive online portfolio. If a gallery director or collector goes to your feed, it needs to look the right way. We can share our art and also a little bit of ourselves in the right context. In the art world, appearances matter. And you only have one first impression, both in real life and online. Therefore, the following post types are industry approved and used commonly among successful industry approved artists. For instance, different post types to show your works in a versatile yet professional manner consist of images of artworks, old or new, that are cropped out, images of artworks on the wall, details of specific artworks, images of artworks in an exhibition context, or images of artworks in a studio context. You could also share some exhibition posts. For instance, sharing some behind-the-scenes impressions or the high-end installation views as the final end result to elevate your credibility as an artist and to communicate your level visually. Think of installation views of a past or ongoing exhibition, exhibition views during the opening, pictures behind the scenes when installing the exhibition, pictures of the artist and the gallery together in the gallery space, or pictures of an artist's talk. You can also post a little bit about your life and have a glimpse into who you are and add a little bit more personality on top of the artist, on top of the art. The best way to do this is, for instance, by sharing some professional portrait pictures of the artist with a charismatic and arty appearance, or pictures of the artist in their studio, pictures of the artist visiting other artists or art events, or perhaps even a few glimpses of your personal life, while remaining professional and maintaining a balance favoring art-related content. Next, we want to post frequently. It is also a very common misconception that you have to post daily to grow on social media. With our strategies, the focus to grow will be predominantly via networking opportunities, so posting daily is not necessary. However, it is important to post enough so they don't forget you and that you show up frequently in the feeds of the people you have been networking with. So I advise you to share at least one post every week, up to 2 to 3 posts every week. Try to make a good habit of it. For instance, every Sunday evening you prepare the 3 posts for the week and then you set some alarm clocks in your schedule to post them on those specific days of the week. By doing so, you can create a good habit and never underestimate the power of a good habit. It could make the difference. Don't use too many hashtags. Many gurus on YouTube or online blogs or about art are all trying to talk about finding shortcuts to hack the algorithm by using many different hashtags. However, these strategies most often have underwhelming results. In fact, hashtags have become less and less important, and if we have a look at the established artists and galleries, they use very few to no hashtags at all. And this also fits with our strategy, as it is focused on the content itself and also the networking aspects. So as a result, I would advise you to do the same and use no more than 5 hashtags. Also, make sure not to use those typical growth-oriented hashtags such as like for like, follow for follow, or viral. Use hashtags that actually matter and are actually a part of the content, that are relevant. Reels are okay, but avoid following all the trends, who are most often very superficial and fleeting, with an average view time of just a couple of seconds. Instead, you should try to go for the following video content, if you post videos. Artist interviews in the studio, in which the artist talks about their work, their process, an upcoming show, and also combining some art with some studio views, etc., with actual relevant information and content. Or artist interviews in the gallery, where the artist can talk about the show, promote it, or discuss the content on display. Some studio videos of the artist working in their studio is also a possible format, but do it in the type of studio visit film format and not necessarily showing the work in progress or time lapses, because you're not really sure that this artwork will be part of your eventual oeuvre. So if you film this, you can post it later when the artwork has already been on view. Next, we want to target interesting contacts with our following strategy. Don't follow randomly, although many sources will recommend you to follow as many people because they can always follow you back. Instead, try to follow all the industry-approved galleries, all the established artists, the renowned art magazines, and the most important institutions to have your finger at the pulse of the art world and really have your feed being filled with top-notch art so that you can have the right inspiration and develop in the right direction. Simultaneously, it will also increase your credibility. If they see that you're following all these high-value institutions, then they will see that you aspire a high value as well. You can also target a little bit locally here, for instance in the closest art center near to you. You can follow the authors of a local art magazine, some entry-level galleries, etc. Next, we're going to support and connect with artists. Most often artists have the reflex to kind of think, who do I need to grow my career? Galleries and collectors, and they all start to try to network with them. However, most often without having an entry, this never works. So start with generally connecting with other artists you like who are already in the art world. They can be your ticket, and if you are generally interested in them and you support them, they will and might return the favor. For instance, by introducing you to their gallery director. Network organically and consistently. And if you repeat this process, it will always be a matter of time when the profile is right and the art is right to see some successes. Via these artist contacts that we have acquired in the previous stage, we can now also network or engage with their network. For instance, the gallery director we were introduced to by the artist in question. Or we can direct message with the art critic we met during the opening. We can follow and get followed by collectors interested in the artist working in the same style or niche. So instead of gaining irrelevant followers, our account engages with relevant other accounts that can make an actual difference in your career. When making the right impressions, posting and networking frequently, our art will show up in the feeds of those interesting contacts. And if you repeat this process, it will always be a matter of time when the profile is right and the art is right to see some successes. If you want to learn more about how to do this, make sure to read the complete article of this video and also consult our overview page with advice for artists next. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Feel free to watch our video on the best art cities in the world next. Support us on Patreon and please consider subscribing to stay posted for more contemporary art. Bye.